Electrophoresis. Yes? Yes, it is separation under the influence of electric field. Electric field. Under the influence of? Under the influence of? Father of electrophoresis, Arne Tiselius. Okay? This man invented and developed electrophoresis. Number one is introduction. The principal factors affecting electrophoresis, conventional electrophoresis, general operation, technical and practical consideration, and types of electrophoresis. How many types of electrophoresis you have heard? कितने तरह के electrophoresis आपने सुने हैं? How many types of electrophoresis? कोई एक तो सुना हो? Anyone? Gel electrophoresis. Okay, good. The rest of them we will discuss with the class today. Okay? Introduction. Electrophoresis is the migration of charged particles or molecules in a medium under the influence of applied electric field. See, the negative ions move opposite to the direction of electric field. Okay? Negative से positive भी चलता है. Name one biomolecule which is negatively charged. Yes. The rate of migration of an ion in an electric field depends upon these factors. Please read them aloud. Strength of the electric field, properties of supporting medium, temperature of operation, and ionic strength of the buffer. What do you mean by net charge on the molecule? Yes, because summation is the property of charge. Let us assume on a molecule there are 100 protons, but there are 101 electrons. So the net charge on that will be -1 because charge has this simple property of summation. Charges can be added. That is why we use the term net charge. Then size and shape of the particle. This is also very important factor. How? How size and shape can affect the mobility or movement? How? Not like that. Let us assume there are two molecules who have 100 Dalton weight. Okay, their weight is similar, mass is similar, 100 Daltons. But one has a very constricted shape. A constricted shape, irregular shape. But one is a perfect sphere. The sphere will move around quickly. So these are the things, okay? Then strength of the electric field, obvious. How? How strength of the electric field can affect mobility? How much force will be experienced? Charge into electric field. Force is directly proportional to electric field. More stronger the electric field, more will be the force. What is the formula for force? d square x upon dt x कुछ ऐसे ही होता है ना? यहाँ लिखा भी है dv upon dt. हाँ ये. This would be acceleration, and acceleration is further broken down to velocity. Conventional electrophoresis, this is the setup, okay? This is the laboratory setup. This is also called horizontal electrophoresis apparatus. This is also horizontal apparatus for electrophoresis. Which one? Horizontal. This is a typical gel electrophoresis setup. This is typically a gel electrophoresis setup. The standard lab practice, since it is arranged in a horizontal shape, this is a horizontal electrophoresis. Then you must be thinking that there is some vertical setup also? Yes, but we will discuss it later if time permits. Clear? There are 2-3 things here, starting with the number one, buffer. What is buffer? What is buffer? Buffer in electrophoresis has twofold purpose. Firstly, try to understand what is buffer, what is the support media, and what are their uses in electrophoresis and how they are used. Then we will tell you that where they are used in the electrophoretic setup. You cannot identify where the buffer is and where the support media is right now. Okay, in this setup, in this setup it is present. This one also. But first, I want you to understand what is support media and what is buffer. So, buffer in electrophoresis has twofold purpose. Number one, carry applied electric current. Number one is carry the applied electric current. Decide the pH at which electrophoresis is carried out. Two simple yet very important functions. Number one, carry the electric current. Electric current can simply be said as applied electric field. Okay. And number two is decide the pH at which electrophoresis is carried out. In other words, we can also paraphrase or rephrase this, that they maintain the optimum pH for carrying out electrophoresis. Like there is optimum pH for enzyme action. Since enzyme is going on, I am drawing an analogy between it. There is an optimum pH at which electrophoresis for different compounds is carried out. So which is that pH is maintained by buffer. Thus they determine type of charge on solute, extent of ionization of solute, and electrodes towards which the solute will migrate. So buffer has two functions. Number one, carry the applied current, and number two, yes. See this, it's a practical application here. Every amino acid has its own specific isoelectric point. What is the isoelectric point? What is the isoelectric point? Yes? Not exactly. You are getting there, but what is the exact definition? The net charge is zero at that point. Net charge is zero at that pH. So how can we exploit this thing? When the net charge is zero, just look back here again at this formula. Will there be any force experienced? So will there be separation taking place? No. See, pre-albumin has an isoelectric pH at 4.7. Pre-albumin is also blood protein. Then there is albumin, pH at 4.9, and gamma globulins at 7.3. Now let us suppose I have to separate gamma globulins from this pre-albumin and albumin mixture. What I will do? I will maintain the pH somewhere close to 4.8, which is the isoelectric point for pre-albumin also and albumin also. Close to that, their isoelectric point. How much? Around 4.8. So pre-albumin and albumin will carry no net charge at that pH. They will be electrically neutral, but there will be some charge present at the gamma globulins because its isoelectric point is at 7.3. At 7.3 it will be electrically neutral, not at 4.8. So now when we will electrophorize this sample, what will happen? Pre-albumin and albumin will stay at their respective points because there is no force acting on them since there is no charge on them. But gamma globulins have some charge on that and they will be accelerated towards the other electrode. Hence there will be separation. Okay. Now commonly used buffers, please write these down. Remember at least 1 to 2 from them. These are the commonly used buffers, very important. Write each and every one. This one is very easy to remember, phosphate buffer, and its pH value at 7. And this lithium borate buffer around 8.6. These are the most easiest one to remember. Carry the electric current. And number 2, maintain the optimum pH. These all are examples of buffers. These are somewhat difficult to remember, but at least remember 1 or 2 from them. Support media are very easy to remember. Please write them down quickly. Isoelectric pH. This is isoelectric point. Isoelectric point is also termed as at pH at which So we write that at Pi. Done? Supporting media. Number 2. First one was buffer. Now next is support media. Supporting medium is a matrix in which the protein separation actually takes place. Now what is the main function of support media? On this, the separation actually takes place. Whatever we are separating, nucleic acids, proteins, whatever, it actually takes place on support media. Various type has been used for separation either on slab or capillary form. The slab one is the standard gel electrophoresis, and capillary one we will see later in the PPT. Separation is based on charge and mass of the protein or nucleic acid also, depending on the pore size of the medium. Depending on pore size of the medium. This should be the ideal properties of a support medium. Ideal properties. Number 1, chemical nature. It should be inert. Why? Why it should be inert? Why support media should be inert? Yes? Yes? Yes, it should neither take part, it should neither affect the separation. If the molecules or the compounds we are separating reacts with the support media, then what is the use of separation? There is no use of that. That's why in the support media should be inert, non-reactive. Availability, easy. Electrical conductivity should be high. Adsorptivity should be low. Why? Adsorption should not occur because that also hampers the rate of separation or mobility. Sieving effect should be desirable. Porosity should be controlled. Porosity means no. The amount of pore, not actually amount, the amount and the size of pore of the supporting media can be controlled. How many pores we want, the density of the pores, and what should be the size of that pore, that should be controlled. These are actually, the lower one are these are not much significant. These 2-3 ones, these are important, okay? Examples. You must have heard all of these. Starch, gel. These are the example of support medium. Starch gel. Second, cellulose acetate. Number 3, agarose. And number 4, polyacrylamide gel. These are the examples of support media. And what are the examples of buffer? Phosphate buffer and phosphate buffer, so you will study in physiology and biochemistry later also, the buffer action of the body. Now, types of electrophoresis. देखो कितने टाइप के होते हैं. देखो तुम्हारा जेल इलेक्ट्रोफोरोसिस यहाँ पे है, पर उसके अलावा भी है देखो. Okay. Number 1 is, first category is zone electrophoresis. Number 1 is zone electrophoresis. And what is the second type is? Moving boundary electrophoresis. I think you must have never heard these types of classification. This is the basic classification. The electrophoresis is classified into 2 categories. Number 1 is zone electrophoresis, and number 2, moving boundary electrophoresis. What are the examples of zone electrophoresis? See, number 1 is paper electrophoresis. Then this is the most common and widely used, gel electrophoresis. Number 3, number 4, And the last one is immunoelectrophoresis. This capillary electrophoresis is important and it is an example of moving boundary electrophoresis. And then this one, isotachophoresis. This is the setup for paper electrophoresis. This one is the setup for paper electrophoresis, which is an example of zone electrophoresis. See, this resembles a kind of electrochemical cell. This resembles roughly like an electrochemical cell. What we do not actually use this paper. The standard paper used is, anyone? Which paper is used? Yes, it is a filter paper, but it has a specific name and a specific grade. I want the name and grade. लैब में तो कागज का मतलब तो फिल्टर पेपर ही होता है, इसमें नई बात क्या है? Wattmann's filter paper and its grade is 1 or 3. Wattmann's filter, I'll tell you later. अगली स्लाइड में ही है. See, this setup is this thing only. Okay, this is our support media. This is our support media. What are the functions of support media? Support media. Support media. What are the functions of support media? The separation actually takes place on this. The main function. The separation takes place on support medium. And what are the examples of support media? Separation actually takes place on support media. Okay. So in paper electrophoresis, our support media is this cellulose acetate paper or Wattmann's filter paper. Now what we do, firstly we take this support media and dip it in not electrolyte, buffer, because this paper or filter paper or celluloacetate sheet is not able to carry current. Which component carries the current? Buffer solution. The buffer solution actually carries the current. So we dip this thing in buffer solution. Name any one buffer. Yes, lithium borate. Any other? Phosphate buffer. Most easy. कौन से बोले इन दोनों ने? Yes. Phosphate buffer and the other one? Lithium. Yes, पूरा बोले lithium borate. How the separation actually takes place? See, let us suppose I want to separate a piece of RNA. Let us suppose. Similar to this, I apply it here. Visible? Visible enough? Now, this part is connected, is dipped in this part, and this part is extended to this part of the cell. And take a look, both of these are connected to the DC voltage. DC voltage. That means the circuit is complete. Why? Because now this is also conducting electricity since it is dipped in buffer. Now what will happen? The circuit is complete, the electric field will set up. Not pass, set up. This piece will travel this much, this piece will travel this much, this. And finally this. The direction of the flow would be this. Why such a pattern appears? Can anyone explain? Yes, due to size. Smaller the size, the greater would be the distance covered. Smaller the size, the greater would be the distance covered. If you had paid a little attention in your class 12th physics, there is a formula for mobility. Mobility of electrons and mobility of holes in semiconductors. ये mu होता है आपका इलेक्ट्रॉन का और ये mu होता है होल का. और रुको मैं बताता हूँ यार. एक तो इलेक्ट्रिकल रेजिस्टेंस होता है टाउ, फॉर्मूले में होता है, मुझे इतना याद है. और इनवर्स में मास भी होता है और रेडियस भी होता है. इतना तो मुझे याद है. हाँ, इतना तो होता है. The electrical resistance, electric field and mass and radius. So Electrical mobility is inversely proportional to mass. More the mass, lesser will be the mobility. Hence, lesser will be the distance covered on support media. Support media. Okay. So this is how separation takes place on paper electrophoresis. Any queries? How paper electrophoresis actually works? Any queries? Any doubt? Anyone? Shall we proceed further? Just see one thing here, class. Let us get our attention here back. Do you see anything here? What is written? 45 volts DC. My main concern is, why are we using DC? Why are we not using AC? Constant what? Yes, DC gives a constant current, but what is the use for that? Does AC not give constant current? There is a RMS value for AC also. There is a RMS value of AC also, na? That is also constant current. Why are we using DC only then? Yes. You are in the correct direction. Give the exact answer. You are halfway there. See, general AC has a frequency of, what is the frequency of general AC? This, which is coming here. Frequency कितनी होती है? 50. AC has a general frequency of 50 hertz. 50 hertz. That means in a second, electric field is changing direction 50 times. 50 times it is becoming positive and 50 times it is becoming negative. Okay? Rendering the whole electrophoresis principle useless. Okay? That is why we do not apply AC. Although AC setups are more easy to maintain, cheap and portable, DC setups are dangerous also. आपको ये 45 वोल्ट लग रहा है यहाँ पे. If I'll just plug any unfortunate soul, that would be enough to kill him. Do you know that? DC is very dangerous. There is a question in physics na, that 220 volt DC's 220 volt AC is more dangerous or 12 volt DC. हमारे टाइम पे तो होता था, उसमें आंसर होता था DC is more dangerous. C. Filter paper such as Wattman number 1. Wattman is the filter paper and 1 is the grade. 1 is the grade. While working in laboratory na, 1 is the apparatus name and apparatus quantity or any other constant. Grade is also attached with them. Grade. Some reagents are of high purity grade, some are of low purity grade. Some are like this, Wattman number 1, this number 1 is the grade, and number 3, millimeter strip of 3 centimeter or 5 centimeter wide has been used. So this is certainly not 3 or 5 centimeter. Okay, this is not 3 or 5 centimeter. This is just for your practical purposes. Separation takes place how much time? In paper electrophoresis. For paper electrophoresis, what are the advantages? It is economical and easy to use. It is economical and easy to use. If you are setting up a lab with a small area or where people are not well financially off, then we prefer these things. Okay. Disadvantages. Certain compounds such as proteins, hydrophilic molecules, examples of hydrophilic molecules. Name some examples of hydrophilic molecules. Yes? देखो अभी एक्सप्लेन करने के लिए टाइम नहीं बचा एक्चुअली. cannot be resolved properly. Read this line again aloud. Certain compounds such as proteins, hydrophilic molecules cannot be resolved properly. What do you mean by resolved? All these four components are separated wide enough that they are visible, okay, to you. That means the resolution is good. The details are clearly visible. All this small one is here, this one is here, this dot is here, okay. Now if this all is cluttered into just one tiny spot, that this thing is also here, this thing is also here, and everything somewhere close to this, then the results are not desired, because we wanted a distinct pattern which is not coming. Take example of your phone's camera. किसी के पास अगर 15 साल पहले नोकिया का फोन अगर किसी ने देखा हो, फोटो खिंचवाई हो, तो उसका रेजोल्यूशन कैसा होता है? कम होता है. Why? Because minute details are not visible. होता है ना सैमसंग वाले फोन में, दूर आप चांद देखिए तो चांद पे भी दिखता है आपको. दैट इज द रेजोल्यूशन. दैट इज द डेफिनेशन ऑफ रेजोल्यूशन. एवरी माइन्यूट डिटेल, वेदर ऑन अ कैमरा फिल्म or a paper electrophoresis, should be clearly visible for result estimation. If it is visible, then it has a good resolution. Understood? Due to adsorptive properties and iogenic properties of paper. Now this is a very handy trick. Paper, what should I say? Paper preferably reacts or adsorbs hydrophilic compounds. Okay, what did I say? Paper adsorbs preferably hydrophilic compounds by forming hydrogen bonds. This is a general property of paper. It is given in surface chemistry. It is a general property. No need to explain. That is why hydrophilic molecules or compounds are not separated using paper electrophoresis. One property is violated here. In case of hydrophilic molecules, the support media is no longer inert. Support media is reacting. Okay? Support media is reacting. That property is violated here. That is why we do not prefer for hydrophilic molecules. Important part, gel electrophoresis. Any questions about paper electrophoresis? How it is carried out? What are the general operations, principle? Clear? Shall we proceed further? Okay, the second one is gel electrophoresis. Separation is brought about through molecular sieving technique. Write it down and put as many stars as you can on this thing. Molecular sieving technique. What is the meaning of sieve? Sieve का मतलब क्या होता है? Yes? Yes, जिसको हिंदी में आम भाषा में कहता है छन्नी, जैसे चाय छानता है. Kind of that. Gel is a colloid in solid form. 99% is water. Okay? It is important that support media is electrically neutral. One more factor which I deliberately didn't write there with those 6 points is written here. Read this point. It is important that support media is electrically neutral. Why? Why support media has to be electrically neutral? Why support media has to be electrically neutral? Why support media has to be electrically neutral? Yes, very good. Let us consider our support media is positively charged. Okay, it has a net positive charge. And what we are actually separating? We are separating, let us consider DNA, which is the gentleman said there it is negatively charged. So what will happen? there will be ion-ion interaction. Positive will be attracted towards negative and the mobility will be affected. Mobility will be affected. Why? Because on support media, as I told you earlier, separation is taking place. And if it is actually charged, then it can affect the mobility. Now reverse the case. Let us suppose support media is now negatively charged and our DNA is also negatively charged. Then what will happen? It will repel. It will increase the mobility to a certain extent which is not its true value. That is why support media has to be electrically neutral. Now I'll tell you later that why these false results can be very critical in medicine. I'll tell you. You will then understand. What are we employing as support media here? Agarose gel. No need to write the repeating unit, it's not for use. This is an important point. Used in concentration as 1% and 1% and 3%. This is the most important part. And it's thoroughly asked in the Viva that what concentration of agarose gel we use in gel electrophoresis. So what are the concentrations? 1% and 3%. The gelling properties are attributed to both inter and intramolecular hydrogen bonding. Inter and intramolecular hydrogen bonding. Gelling properties are due to class. Gelling properties are due to inter and intramolecular hydrogen bonding. Pore size is controlled by percentage of agarose gel. So size of the pore is controlled by concentration of agarose gel. 1% solution is a dilute solution as compared to 3%. 1% will then have larger pores. If you mix 1 gram of agarose in 100 ml water, it forms 1% solution. It will have larger pores. On the other hand, if you will put 3% solution, it will have relatively smaller pores. Okay? Molecular sieving technique. Separation is brought about by molecular sieving techniques, which means ki the pore size is affecting the separation. That is why 1% and 3% are very important. If you want separation to certain extent, we use 1% solution. If you want separation of different extent, we use 3% solution. Both will give you different results. See this, large pore size are formed with lower concentration and vice versa. Higher concentration will give you small pore size. Advantages and disadvantages of gel electrophoresis, which is under the classification, gel electrophoresis is a type of zone electrophoresis. Advantages. Number one is easy to prepare and small concentration of agar is required. Resolution is superior to that of filter paper. So one advantage over paper electrophoresis is resolution is superior to paper electrophoresis. Okay? Large quantities of protein can be separated and recovered. It absorbs protein relatively less when compared to other medium. Here other mediums are like paper. Paper absorbs proteins. Paper, because many of the proteins are also hydrophilic. Many are hydrophobic also. Why this thing is different in their nature? Because after formation of proteins, they undergo a number of modifications. Where? In cell. We see even after the nascent polypeptide is formed, each and every polypeptide undergoes certain changes. Some becomes hydrophilic, some becomes hydrophobic, some stays neutral as per the requirement of the cell. Okay. Sharp zones are obtained due to less adsorption. We will show you what are these sharp zones. Now what are the disadvantages? Resolution is less compared to polyacrylamide gels. Different sources and batches of agar tend to give different results, and purification is often necessary. If we run the same sample on two different agar batches, both will give slightly different result. Slightly different result, because it is not easy to maintain the concentration of both. That is why if you are trying to clone the results, that means if you are getting result A in one sample and you are thinking that I'll perform with the same setup and it will give me A result only, it actually does not happen in gel electrophoresis, which is also a disadvantage. There will be slight difference in both. Applications, these are very important to separate DNA. Number 2, what is this? What is this? क्या? HB variants. Name a few HB variants. HB. What is HBA? Huh? That is not a variant. I am asking variant. थोड़ा और इसे रिफाइन करो. Refine your answer a bit. Isoenzymes. What are isoenzymes? What are isoenzymes? What are isoenzymes? Not same pH. I'll give you one hint. LDH has 5 isoenzymes which catalyzes different reactions. LDH has 5. Isoenzymes must have been completed by Pulak sir. पढ़ नहीं रहे आप लोग. This is how gel is formed. This is how gel is formed. How gel is formed? By inter and intramolecular hydrogen bonding in support media. Here we are using support media as agar. See, firstly we heat the solution, then somewhat hydrogen bonding is forming here, and then this one is the pore. Okay, this one is the pore. This is the apparatus for gel electrophoresis. This is the practical setup or apparatus for gel electrophoresis. See, what is this? This part is called casting tray. Called casting tray at the back. हाँ जी आप casting tray, ध्यान इधर. What purpose does this serve? We prepare the support media on this. Okay, and what is the purpose of support media? What is the function of support media? No murmuring, please. What is the function for function of support media? बैठे रहिए. What is the function of support media? कौन सी रिएक्शन होगी? Have I discussed any reaction so far? I haven't discussed any reaction so far as I remember. What is the function of support media? तो क्या फंक्शन हुआ? इस पे सेपरेशन होता है. द मूवमेंट जिसके कारण हम देखते हैं छोटा आगे निकल जाता है, बड़ा पीछे रह जाता है, वो एक्चुअली इस पे होता है, सपोर्ट मीडिया पे. आई बात समझ? See, it is closed from two sides and open from two. It is not a complete chamber like that. It has a very practical application to that, because such a thing hinders operation. I understand that the setup is not there. If the setup would have been here, I would have shown you, I would have given you to feel for yourself that why operation in a constricted space, because if it is not open from two sides, this thing will become very constricted and movements of hands are not proper. Okay. So what happens? We tape it around. We tape it. And for what hands are to be moved, you know? For leveling out the support media, that it spreads uniformly. It spreads uniformly. Because if it is closed from all the sides, it is a small chamber. At some places the support media might be quite thin. At some places it becomes thick. It becomes like a slant, an uneven surface. That also affects movement of electrophorons, which are getting separated. So the next step is taping and pouring of agarose solution, which is our support media. Which is our support media. Agarose solution is just like water. When we mix agarose in boiling water, it forms a colloid type solution. It is freely flowing. As it cools down, it solidifies into a gel. यहाँ से नाम आता है gel electrophoresis. What is this? Comb or casting dams. Once we have poured this completely, we put this dams or comb here into the solution. See, grooves are also given there. There are grooves also given there. See, once the boiling solution is put in there, we put in the casting dams. Now, what is the function of this casting dam? Take a close look here. See, the solution is now solidified. It has formed into a gel or colloid, a solidified colloid. Now we slowly take the comb out, and there are spaces left in between, gaps. Okay, in these gaps only we load our solution, on which electrophoresis would be run. Okay, see, using a micropipette, we are pouring solution into these wells or dams. Okay, and once this setup is ready, this whole setup is immersed into a buffer. Once this whole setup is ready, we pour in the buffer. Why? Because the function of buffer is to carry electric current and maintain optimum pH. Okay? Any queries? Should I explain it again? See, this is our casting tray. You see those grooves there? These are for comb. Firstly, we tape these both the sides, both the open sides, and pour in the support media or agarose gel solution. Next, we put in the comb on this in the solution. Once the solution is solidified, it forms into a gel. We gently takes it out. Okay. After that, grooves are created here. See, and using micropipette, we pour in the sample in those grooves. Finally, we fill this whole setup with buffer as per our requirement and connect it to the power supply, and process of electrophoresis starts. This is how gel electrophoresis takes place. Now you understand why I have put high initial thrust on support media and buffer? Because if I had given this figure earlier, you would have been thinking that what is the support media, what is the buffer? This creates confusion. So first you should learn what is support media, what is buffer, what are their functions, and then you should look at this figure. Any queries? Any queries? Any questions? All of you are able to understand? समझ आया? क्या समझ आया?
सर इसमें टाइम कितना लगेगा? टाइम या कोई 35 हो जाएगा
Agarose solution takes around, depending on concentration, at max it takes around 1 hour. 1 hour at max, at high concentrations. In dilute concentrations it takes around 15, 20, 30 minutes. But 1 hour is enough. To speed up na, we put them in refrigeration chambers also, but that is not important. वो बन जाएगा. The important part begins here. Once it is found, we load the sample and immerse in the buffer, and after that the process begins. See, what actually is this? What actually is this? It is the result of gel electrophoresis. It is the result of gel electrophoresis. See this. There are 8 wells in it. There are 8 wells in it. 8 wells where we have poured the sample. What is this? Standard. This is standard. Now we know that the lighter fragment moves ahead of the heavier fragment. But how light the sample actually is, how we will get to know? What would be the size or mass of this fragment? How we will come to know? We have a standard solution running here, okay? We will just compare it with standard. So what is the weight coming here? 1000. It can be either base pairs or it can be either in mass units, which we say like 1000 Daltons. What is written here? These are base pairs. So this would be 1000 base pairs. Similarly, what would be the base pair of this? 500. Okay, this is how the result is estimated. We do not get the result automatically ki the smaller fragment rushes ahead, the larger fragment stays behind. What is the use of that? How to get the practical result out of it? By comparing it with standard. The standard solution is prepared in each and every lab. Okay, it is there. And by this, we compare the samples. Which samples are used here? These are DNA samples. Okay, DNA samples. What would be the weight or base pair of this? This is 5000. 5000 base pairs. So this is a relatively larger fragment. And these are the smallest one of 100 base pair. Understood? How the results are interpreted. How the results are interpreted. And mind you, the electrophoresis once done, it is not visible like that. We put certain dyes on it. We put certain dyes on it so that it becomes visualized, so that we can visualize it under X-rays or UV rays. Can you name any one of that dye? Yes? Yes, ethidium bromide. Ethidium bromide. Is there any problem in that?
Are these values written there based on standard or?
Yes, these are standard values.
So the gel is not consistent, you said.
Yes.
अगर gel आपने बोला कि वो consistent नहीं रहता, बहुत उसमें irregularity.
We have run the, see, I understand. There are 2 additional wells for standard also on the same plate. That 2 gel electrophoresis sample does not yield the same result. You are saying that, na? We have run that on the same plate. 2 wells for standard. Do you know that how this standard is actually coming like this? In the pack of standard, there are base pairs of length 100. Then there will be one polynucleotide of 5000. Then there will be one polynucleotide of 2000. There will be one of 1000. Like this. We do not know that what is their size. इनमें से हमें किसी का साइज नहीं पता क्या है. But the standard in the pack has values of each and every one. उसमें 100 का भी है, 500 का भी है, 1000 का भी है, 2000, 5000, 10000 सब. It includes each and every one. And naturally the 100 one will move the farthest, and the 10,000 one will stay at the back. That is how it is performed. That is why it is a very complex thing, and that is why I was yelling at you initially that why you have come late, because these small things had to be explained manually. You cannot escape all these things. What do you understand by this? So far we have covered the theoretical part of this. Okay, this is actually the medicine part or the clinical part of this, which will be used in research and medicine. Remember this curve, this one, by your heart. इस कर्व को कोई कभी नहीं भूलेगा. No one shall ever dare to forget it. What is this? Normal SPEP, normal serum plasma electrophoresis, or serum plasma protein electrophoresis. Serum protein electrophoresis, sorry. These A and B, these are two samples we have electrophorosed. These are two samples we have electrophorosed. This band comes like this, and for B the band comes like this. See this. Let us consider this is sample A and this is sample B. So this sample, it is under UV rays or X-rays, depending upon the dye. But if we want to visualize on gel only, then something light staining like this comes. Okay? If we want to see it with naked eye, something like this comes. Now, who will catch a very factual mistake in this one? Who will catch a factual mistake here? I will personally reward him with 5 marks in internal. Yes? Yes. Now what is the meaning of this then? That how this darker one is coming so far. All of you will get 5 marks from me. This is batch C. Very good. Why? Why this thing has happened? Remember, the weight of this one, the weight of this monoclonal component, this one is written here, is the lightest. That is why it has traveled the maximum distance. Okay? So far what I have taught you is not incorrect, is not, मतलब वो गलत नहीं है. But they are present in such a high concentration in the sample that they all have accumulated at this place. That is why it has stained a dark spot on the final result. Although their mass is the least one, that is why they are at the far end. But their concentration is so high in the sample that they have all accumulated here and formed a dark band. Okay? This is where clinical application comes in. This one is the normal graph. Okay. Now, how this graph is plotted, no one has asked. We know how it is visualized using various dyes. Okay. And this one is a stained version. But how these graphs are obtained? We use an instrument called densitometer. Which instrument? Densitometer. To plot these graphs, to analyze these results. How these results are analyzed under a densitometer. These results are analyzed under a densitometer. Now see, this is the normal pattern. But see, there is an elevated peak here in nephrotic syndrome. So if a patient comes with a nephrotic syndrome and you run a sample of his serum or plasma in an electrophoresis and you find an elevated peak here in the middle, this would mean that the patient is suffering from nephrotic syndrome. The initial this peak is, it is written here. This initial peak is of albumin. Then this protein is the peak of alpha 1. Then this one, and gamma. This is the normal pattern, okay? This is the normal pattern for proteins. Similarly here, see this. This is flattening out and broadening as compared to the normal one, indicating hepatic cirrhosis. This is the clinical application of this. Another interesting case. We will give these in spotting and tell you to identify the cases. This one is monoclonal gammopathy, or so far you must have seen in +1 and +2, class 11th and 12th, that how electrophoresis is there and what is the process. Today what you have added to your knowledge, the clinical interpretation, how it is applied in medicine. Okay. How those patterns are interpreted? Under a densitometer. And what is the reason of that dark patch well ahead of that? Concentration. Different instruments. Every lab follows a different procedure. Every lab will have a different color of that. But graphs will be same. If it is a nephrotic syndrome, you will observe this peak here. What is this? There is no peak here, which is in the normal one. See, it has flattened out. So this indicates this protein losing enteropathy. See, it has flattened out as compared to the normal curve. It is a distinct curve, but here it has plateaued out. एक plateau बन गया है यहाँ पे. And this one is very important. Okay. Now the other name is more important. So this was the clinical application of gel electrophoresis. How gel electrophoresis is used in medicine, utilized in medicine. क्या है पढ़िए. Polyacrylamide, frequently referred to as PAGE. Cross-linked polyacrylamide gel are formed. Leave it. This is not important. This is more important. Made in concentration between 3 to 30% acrylamide. What was the concentration we were using in gel electrophoresis? No. 1 and 3%. Not 1 to 3%. 1% and 3%. What is the concentration used here? 3 to 30%. Similarly, as say drawing a parallel to gel electrophoresis, less the concentration, more is the pore size, and higher the concentration, smaller the pore size. This is a free radical mechanism. The reaction is given. Now this is very important. This is SDS Page. Short form for sodium dodecyl polyacrylamide gel electrophoresis, SDS Page. See, this gel electrophoresis setup is also a horizontal electrophoresis type, okay? It has also a horizontal setup, so it is also called as horizontal electrophoresis. But SDS Page is performed vertically, so this is also known as vertical electrophoresis. Now, please write down, please put your pens down and listen to me very, very carefully. This is a very important point. I'll explain it. SDS Page is mainly performed for proteins, mainly. But there is one catch here as compared to gel electrophoresis. As compared to gel electrophoresis. Gel electrophoresis, we do write that we can perform for the for proteins, but it is not preferred. This one is preferred. Why? Tell me the factors affecting the mobility on support media. What were the factors? Yes? Mass, yes, and shape, yes. Shape and charge. Net charge on the molecule which is being electrophorosed and shape of that. Keep these two things in focus, shape and charge. In gel electrophoresis, what we are mainly employing is DNA and RNA. Okay? What we are mainly employing is DNA and RNA. If I take my sample and I take the gentleman's sample and this girl's sample, you will find that we all have same shape of DNA molecule. Okay? Am I clear? The shape of the DNA molecule is same. What is the shape? Who will tell? What is the shape of the DNA molecule? It is a double helix, right-handed curve, or like that ladder pattern. If I take a dog sample also, it will also come the same way. All the eukaryotes, not all, the majority of the eukaryotes will have the same shape. In gel electrophoresis, since we are employing DNA and RNA, the shape factor is eliminated because all the DNA molecules have and even RNA molecules have same shape. So that factor is eliminated. Second, DNA is a negatively charged molecule. DNA has a constituent unit of what? Nucleotide. What is nucleotide made of? Ribose sugar, phosphate and nitrogenous base. Each nucleotide will have one phosphate group only. And one phosphate group has how much negative charge? कितना negative charge होता phosphate पे? -3. So throughout the DNA sample, even RNA also, charge will be uniform. Charge will be uniform because on no nucleotide you will find two phosphate groups attached. So two important factors are nullified or eliminated in case of DNA and RNA. Number one, shape of the molecule, and number two, charge on the molecule. That is why DNA and RNA are easy to run on electrophoresis. Okay? Similar things cannot happen with proteins. Why? Because proteins have innumerable shapes. उनकी कोई भी कितनी भी shapes हो सकती है. They can have as many shapes as possible. What example can you present? Myoglobin, hemoglobin. Myoglobin has tertiary structure and hemoglobin has quaternary structure. Myoglobin is simpler as compared to hemoglobin because it has further coiling. if I consider this a protein, what does it actually represents? A primary structure. It has a straight chain. Okay. After folding and unfolding primary, secondary, tertiary, it has reached quaternary structure. So something like this becomes a quaternary structure, highly coiled, highly complex. I don't know what shape is this. Okay. Pay attention here. Okay. So shape of the protein comes into play. Shape of the protein comes into play. We cannot ignore it. Similarly, the next factor, charge. There can be a net positive charge on proteins. There can be a net negative charge on proteins. And there can be no net charge on proteins. Why? Because the constituent amino acids can be what? There can be a large number of acidic amino acids which will constitute positive charge. Then there can be a high amount of basic amino acids which will constitute negative charge. And there can be cases where both of them can cancel each other. Those becomes neutral proteins. Okay. So both the factors which were nullified in case of DNA and RNA comes into play in case of proteins. That is why SDS page was developed. Am I clear? Now, what kind of bonds do you find in proteins? One important bond, disulfide bonds. Which bond? Disulfide bond. Disulfide bonds are required for maintaining the secondary, tertiary and quaternary structures. Disulfide bonds. What is the first step in SDS page? What was the first step there? We tape the casting chamber for pouring in the agarose solution. Okay. But what is the first step here? The sample is boiled for 5 minutes in buffer containing, write these things down, beta mercaptoethanol and SDS. What is the first step here? Boiling of sample in buffer containing. These things are more important. Functions are frequently asked in Viva. Beta mercaptoethanol breaks the disulfide bonds. And SDS, what is the function of this? It imparts negative charge throughout the protein. It imparts negative charge. So if there is any charge present on the protein, it is cancelled out. And now the protein uniformly has negative charge. See this. After treatment with SDS, earlier it was like this, the secondary or tertiary structure. Okay. But after boiling with beta mercaptoethanol and SDS, what happened? All the disulfide bridges got broken. So it has formed in a straight chain. And it is thoroughly imparted with negative charge. It is now completely negatively charged polypeptide. एक negatively charged chain बन गई है. सब चीज इसका खत्म. What are the advantages of these two things? Now, shape of the molecule is also nullified here because it has formed into a uniform shape, straight chain, and charge is also neutralized. If there was a net positive or negative charge, it is neutralized. It has thoroughly negative charge now. Similar to DNA. Like DNA has a thoroughly negative charge now. See, it also has a negative charge now. Similar to that. Now our process can run effectively and easily. This is the vertical setup of SDS page. क्या नाम है? क्या नाम है? हैं? तुम्हारा भाई वैसे पे होगा, फिर मैं देखूंगा कितनी फोटो कलेक्ट करें. The support media here, one more stark difference is divided into two. One is the stacking gel and one is the running gel. Rest all principle is same. The larger molecules will stay behind under the influence of electric field, everything. It is all same. The support media is divided into stacking gel and running gel. Big protein stays behind while the smaller ones rushes forward. These are casting wells. Here the sample is loaded. This is how it actually looks in lab. This is the apparatus for vertical electrophoresis or SDS page. This is the loaded one. This was the empty one. This was the loaded one. This one. This is actually the process is going out. See, the sample is loaded here and they are coming like this. The lighter ones move forward while the heavier ones stays behind due to less mobility. The sample is loaded there in the upper part using a micropipette. What would be the sample usually? Proteins. This is the practical apparatus. How actually it works. This is the practical representation of that. The first part, the membrane fragments. Suppose we are electrophoresing a cell membrane. So the membrane fragments are boiled in SDS and beta mercaptoethanol. Both are important. Beta mercaptoethanol breaks the disulfide bonds. SDS adds negative charge. After that, the gel is prepared and the sample is loaded into this one. Sample is loaded here using micropipette. Then this part is attached to the battery or power source, anode and cathode. Next is the process is run like this. The heavier sample stays behind, the lighter one moves forward, and after completing it looks like this. Okay, see, since we have run the sample of membrane fragments, what we will find? Alpha and beta represents spectrin, then this N-chirin, anion exchange proteins, actin and GPD. These protein bands are observed. Okay. Application. Write it down. Research tool, measuring molecular weight, peptide mapping, protein identification, determination of sample purity, blotting and smaller DNA fragment separation. It can be used even for DNA also. But SDS page is specially modified for proteins. Take a good picture of this. This is the actual visualized result of SDS page. Applications. You can write it yourself also, it's very easy. This one is more important. Staining dyes are also written here. Ethidium bromide for nucleic acids. Next time mention that if we are using ethidium bromide, it is for nucleic acids. What are the types of RNA? mRNA, tRNA, sRNA. No one will tell. And ये तो 3 ही हुए, बहुत सारे होते हैं. And please no murmuring, please. mRNA, tRNA, sRNA. And have you heard of sRNA? Is there any sRNA present in the cell? Yes, there is sRNA. Actually, it is not sRNA, it is snRNA, small nuclear RNA. और कौन से होते हैं? rRNA, माइक्रो RNA, माइक्रो RNA. अच्छा ये बताओ, न्यूक्लियस का साइज बड़ा होता है न्यूक्लियोलस का? न्यूक्लियस का बड़ा होता है. Which has a larger size, nucleus or nucleolus? And which was discovered first? Nucleolus. In if I remember, it is 1769. Roughly 80 to 90 years earlier than nucleus. Who discovered nucleus? And who discovered nucleolus? Fontana. I don't know his full name, but Fontana. I remember his last name. Isoelectric focusing, I have explained you earlier. Isoelectric focusing, this has already been explained. Let me remind you again. We take sample of two proteins, let us say albumin and globulin. Albumin has an, for example, isoelectric pH of 5 and globulin has an isoelectric pH of anything, you can say 10, okay. And now you want to separate albumin from globulin. So what will you do? You will set the pH of what? Who maintains optimum pH? Buffer. You will set the pH of the buffer at what? 5 or 10? 10 पे भी हो जाएगा. You can keep it either. Okay? If you will keep it 10, globulin will have a zero net charge because it is its isoelectric pH. And if you will keep pH 5, albumin will have zero charge. You can keep either of them, whichever buffer is available to you. You run the electrophoresis, one of the components gets separated from the other. Why? Because at isoelectric pH, there is no net charge on amino acid and hence protein. Understood? This is isoelectric focusing. Able to separate proteins which differ in isoelectric point by as little as 0.01 pH unit. See, can you name one practical application from that? One practical application. Yes, I'll accept this answer. I will accept this one. But the most it is utilized in forensic science, in forensic medicine. Okay? Why am I am asking you to take pictures? Because we will put these pictures only in spotting. And we will ask you to identify what kind of electrophoresis is this. And remember, isoelectric focusing is also kind of zone electrophoresis. There is no time left for immunoelectrophoresis. This one was very important. The last one. What is written here? Capillary electrophoresis, and it is an example of moving boundary electrophoresis. Moving boundary electrophoresis. Technique first described by Jorgensen and Lucas, 1980s. As the name suggests, the separation is carried out in a narrow bore capillary. In a narrow bore capillary. Hemat में देखी होंगी capillaries. You must have seen capillaries in hematology lab, na? Sample application is done either of one method, using one of the above two mentioned methods. What are these? High voltage injection and pressure injection. Earlier the sample was applied using how we were applying the sample in gel electrophoresis, using micropipette, but the technique is totally changed here. High voltage injection and pressure injection. Now what is the difference between the two? So this is another stark difference between capillary electrophoresis and gel electrophoresis, or in general zone electrophoresis and moving boundary electrophoresis. Buffer reservoir is replaced by a sample reservoir, okay? And here anodic end of capillary is removed from buffer and placed in an airtight sample solution. Here what happened? Buffer reservoir is placed again and voltage applied for separation. We use a very high amount of voltage for separation. Since we are using a high amount of voltage, electric field setup would be large and separation would be quick. But what it is happening here, kept back in the buffer sample and voltage is applied using pressure. High voltage is applied up to 50 kilovolt or 50,000 volts. वहाँ DC सप्लाई कितनी थी जो फिगर में देखी थी? 45. Small voltage. This is how it actually looks like, the separation in a small capillary. What is the formula for capillary action? What is the formula for capillary action? Rise करता है जो नहीं, बैठे रहो. I am asking that sample how it rises actually. What is the formula for that? 2t cos theta upon r radius of the capillary and density. Yes, density and g. 2t cos theta upon r into d into g. So to nullify some of these things, the capillary rise and capillary dip, we do it in a horizontal manner, not in a vertical one. Okay? Because that can alter the results. Gel electrophoresis we can do in a horizontal fashion also and vertical fashion also. The best example was SDS page, but here it has to be in a horizontal. The graph, see why it is preferred. It gives beautiful peaks. कितना सुंदर है देखो. Yes, please click a photo of this. This is very important. If you compare them with the peaks of gel electrophoresis, what difference do you find? The resolution is far better in this one. The resolution is far better in this one. Take a look back. See, Although we can see curves and peaks, but they are not sharp like these one. But there see, distinct curves are seen. The resolution is quite better here. So capillary electrophoresis is nowadays being preferred. Clinical application, and that ends with the lecture. You can write it down. Multiple myeloma testing, hemoglobinopathy screening, HbA1c, and monitoring chronic alcoholism, GGT. These are just a few applications I am telling, just a few. There can be 40 of them.